Welcome to the Gould-Fish pod. I'm Matt Gould.
And I'm Ryan Fish.
And we're mixing up the order of things today with the special Rampage start time. We are going to start with Rampage, work our way back to Dynamite, and then give you the special treats at the end of the episode. That's what they're called now. We don't do segments. We give treats.
They're treats, yes.
Like we're training a dog.
Yeah, was it who's the Pavlov's dog? Is that the
Yeah. Some real deep shit going on the pod already this week.
So yeah, we'll kick it off with Rampage, and we started out with a banger of a tag team match with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm and Ruby Soho.
Oh man, this was great.
It was great.
You know what's pretty funny? I was thinking about this as I watched the show, and I was thinking like, okay, so everyone always complains about how they booked this women's division. And I would always like kind of give crap to people who are like, oh, they get no time, like blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, when's the last time there were 6 women on one show that were worthy of getting as much time as all of these people got? So now I'm all the way back on the other side. I'm defending all of the people who complain about the women's division because I've sat here and thought like, okay, well, it's not the most simple thing to just book great matches all the time, I suppose, since they just don't do it with the women's division. But like the 2 women's matches on this show were both really great.
They were.
apparently it is that easy just to put good wrestlers against each other and have somebody lose clean. Apparently that's possible. So yeah, now I'm on the side of the people who do all the complaining on Twitter because it is that
we
easy.
just
Do it.
Yeah. We're just Tony. What's going on, man?
Seriously. 2 great matches.
And I mean, obviously, like to open up the show was a big deal, and man, they kicked ass.
They did. And I love that the crowd was all over Britt Baker too with the Pittsburgh sucks chant. That's great. Didn't realize Baltimore hated Pittsburgh so much.
Well, I guess the rivalry with the Ravens and Steelers.
I guess that whole division seems to just hate the Steelers. It doesn't really seem like there's an exclusive rivalry there.
No, I guess not.
3 teams, and then they all hate the Steelers. That's the rivalry.
There you go. It's the conference or the division, I should say.
But yeah, this was really good. This match, a lot of stuff that happened out of nowhere. People getting cut off. Everything looked really good. I don't know. I have nothing but good things to say about this match. Toni Storm with the really good looking German suplexes. Ruby Soho's kicks looked awesome. Britt Baker did really well. Obviously, Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm is like a matchup. Those 2 are perfect for each other.
Next week.
Yes. It worked as a great preview, I thought, for the tournament matches, for sure.
I definitely thought it was going to go in the direction of Jamie Hayter getting the win.
So did I.
And I was surprised. Yeah, so that's why I was just surprised that Jamie Hayter did not get the win, and Toni Storm did pick up the win against Britt Baker.
Well, and also it was kind of a failed. Jamie Hayter failed to make the save there, and Britt was kind of looking at her like, "What the heck?" We just lost because of that. Toni Storm did roll up Britt Baker for what people were calling an upset pinfall as I was scrolling through Twitter. That's how elevated Britt Baker is. That people think Toni Storm beating her in a tag match
was an upset.
It's an upset. But yeah, I don't know that it was an upset, but I was very surprised that Britt Baker took the fall. And would you believe me if I told you they're teasing dissension between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter once again?
Yeah, they're definitely throwing it out there, putting it in our faces.
One of these days, man. One of these days, they will actually make a move on one another, and they will end up having a wrestling match. And hopefully by that time, in 2025, people still care.
My guess it's going to be after the Wardlow MJF, because then they're going to have another dissension.
Oh, why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Got to have more dissension. Can't have too much dissension at once, but you've always got to have dissension coming. There's got to be
Absolutely.
an on deck.
Absolutely. Someone's got to, it's the conveyor belt. It's got to keep rolling.
Yeah. You need the heat.
After that, we actually went back to the booth where Eddie Kingston called Jericho.
This was so awesome. I can't believe that they actually phrased it on a taped show. The show is taped. And Eddie Kingston calls in to the commentary booth, and there's even a little graphic on the phone. Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, his profile picture, like it's a FaceTime.
But that was so awesome. I don't know why I love that so much, but I really,
it was so different that you just loved it. Like who would have thought about it? Like I probably wouldn't have thought about it, but it was definitely a great touch.
How did Eddie know who to call to be able to get connected to the actual desk? There's got to be a bunch of people with phone numbers back there. Like, can you just imagine an angry Eddie Kingston? Like, just imagine that this is how this went, because this is what they're selling to us. Eddie Kingston is at home recovering from facial burns. He's trying to watch Rampage.
And at 4:30.
At 4:30. And he sees 5:30 Eastern. And he sees Jericho on the screen. And that's it. Eddie is set
loses
off.
it.
Yeah, he's done. He's like, where's my phone? I need my phone. And he starts dialing numbers. Hey, put me through to the booth. Who is this? It's Eddie Kingston. I need to talk to Chris Jericho right now.
He called Excalibur because Excalibur answered. So he's
Eddie, we're in the middle of a show. Put me through to Excalibur right now. Guys, we've got a rather unusual message coming in from the back. And Chris Jericho sold it so great. He's like, he's calling me?
He's like, what is this?
But Eddie said that he has come home beaten and bloodied before, but for the first time, his wife saw him, which I didn't know Eddie was married either, and said that the sight of his burned face broke her, and she was, for the first time that he's ever seen, as far as wrestling goes, scared. And so Jericho is going to exact revenge in the form of the same fear that Jericho placed in the heart of his wife by giving it right back to Jericho. And Jericho was distraught, man. He didn't know what to do. He
was. The booth was all silent. They're all like, man, what?
Jericho's just like sitting there awkwardly like, oh, he called me? Still couldn't get over the fact that Eddie called in to a wrestling show. So was he in the back since this was taped? Was Eddie just in the back, like watching the monitors, or like how did he see it? Because it was taped, not live. Like, was there a live feed?
Ortiz had to inform him.
Ortiz is standing in the back with FaceTime up, just showing him, dude, look at this fucking guy. They're about to film a segment. You got, dude, call in, Eddie.
I want to know what happened to get to that point.
Yeah, I've got to understand the explanation there. I don't get it at all, but I did love it. It was great.
Yeah, it was a great little segment. And then we actually threw it backstage to Tony Nese.
Well, that's
challenging.
That's incorrect. We threw it back to
Smart Mark. Sorry,
the biggest free agent signing in AEW history.
You're right.
Tony Nese. If you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. That's on me. I'll wear that one. But not only is he making a challenge, he's making the challenge to Danhausen.
He's afraid of Hook. That's all I can say.
He's dodging.
He's certainly dodging.
But we'll see him next week, apparently.
Oh, we'll see. I wonder how this is going to go.
And then we actually threw it back to the ring where we had Hook versus JD Drake.
This was a tremendous 1 minute and 30-second Hook match. Hook defeating JD Drake 90 seconds. One of my favorite 90-second Hook matches to date.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, Hook just launched JD Drake over his head too.
Oh yeah. JD Drake got nothing. Hook had an answer for everything. Hook looked like he wanted to take that first hard chop and no sell it, and then he got hit, and he was like, "Oh fuck, no, that one actually hurt.
That would hurt.
Give me another one." And then he headbutts it. That guy's psycho. What a psycho. But makes quick work of him. I loved it.
I did too. And then after that, Danhausen made his way to the squared circle to offer an alliance with Hook.
He did have a proposal for him. He wanted Hook in his corner, and he had brought Hook a birthday gift. But before he could get to giving Hook the birthday gift, Hook was not happy that Danhausen put his hands on him. Even as a friendly shoulder touch, that was not happening. And Hook shrugged him off and said, "Absolutely not. I'm not doing this." And then Danhausen, he shoves Danhausen. I assume that he ruined Danhausen's present that he gave to him, bag of chips. Totally
Bag
crushed.
of chips.
But Hook looks at those chips, man. I thought we were gonna get Hook's offside to come out for a second, but no.
We were almost there.
We were almost there. Danhausen is breaking down the rough exterior on the one they call Hook. Really showing his sensitive side.
Yeah, this is going places that I did not expect to go.
No,
but I'm here for it.
I'm also here for it. It's vastly improved, this whole Danhausen and Hook
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see Danhausen and Hook as tag team champions.
Hookhausen.
Yeah, not actually. Please don't take that seriously if you're listening, Tony. But they are a good act.
Yes. Then we actually went backstage with Lexi Nair interviewing FTR.
Yeah, that was good. Dax Harwood cut a good promo on Adam Cole, and I wish he had more of a chance at winning than he does. I mean, maybe he'll win, but I feel like Adam Cole's going to win. Good little promo there. Dax Harwood, I believe every word he said.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. So, yeah. After that, we actually had Yuka Sakazaki versus Riho.
The return of Yuka Sakazaki. Dude, I don't know what the deal is with the magical girl. And maybe that's just it, the fact that she's magical. But this girl barely ever wrestles on AEW. And every time she comes out, the crowd just goes crazy for her. They love this.
Nuts.
They go crazy for Yuka Sakazaki. But the match, these ladies work their ass off.
They hit the ropes hard. That's what I noticed for sure, was they came out firing.
They hit the ropes hard. They hit each other hard. They really, really went and did just about everything. The crazy suplexes, spots to the outside, magical girl splashes, just unbelievable stuff. A lot of some of the forearms were very, very solid contact. This was great.
Yeah, Riho was winding up for her forearm shivers.
Yeah, and I bet you she was barely hurting her at all. That's how good they
True.
are. But yeah, all kinds of moves from the top to the floor, Northern Lights bombs, just
they were hitting moves that I was not expecting. Like they always kept me they kept me on my toes the entire match.
And the pace, they worked such a good pace. They were working quickly. They properly sold like their stamina bars running out towards the end. I don't know, dude. If it's this easy to just give us two really good women's wrestling segments,
Tony.
I don't understand how this isn't happening more often. But towards the end, I was really rooting for Yuka Sakazaki just because she's never there. Whenever she's there, they go nuts for her. And I know people like Riho, but I was like, damn it. She's about to get rolled up by Riho. And then literally like 30 seconds later, she got rolled up by Riho. And that was that. Riho qualifies.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were sold on the magical girl.
Yeah, I was.
But yeah, Riho came out victorious. And what Excalibur pointed out, in her new ring attire, that was all black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's going to join the House of Black.
Going to join the House of Black. I like that. Yeah, then we went backstage to Sean Spears calling out War Dog.
Yes, Sean Spears. I was uninterested in what he had to say.
The giant killer was what was written on the chair.
Yeah, everybody's always some kind of killer of some kind. Got it. You hit people with a chair.
He's the chairman.
Yeah, got it. We get it, Sean.
If we get it. Then we actually went to Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, cutting their little promo on the TNT Championship, and Sammy and Ty Conti.
A million times better that because Sammy and Ty weren't directly involved. And as soon as they moved off of that whole tag team match idea and Frankie Kazarian came out, everything was a lot better after that.
Frankie saved it.
Frankie saved it. Why does Ethan Page always yell? What did I do to him? Why is he yelling?
Why is he screaming? Yeah, he's yelling more than Excalibur.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice Excalibur on the show from this point forward because Ethan Page had done such a good job of screaming right into the microphone that Excalibur just seemed normal to me. And Jericho seemed normal to me. The yellers didn't bother me after this segment.
Because your ears were blown out from Ethan Page.
Yeah, I was listening to the show on full blast after that. Not because I was hard of hearing before, but afterwards, man.
Frankie saved it. Yeah,
he's got to chill. Frankie did save it. I love Suit Kazarian.
I do. I like Suit Kazarian as well.
So the Kazarian that you just see walking around on the street, like when he's just pedestrian Frankie Kazarian, that's shoot Frankie Kazarian. And then when he's wrestling for the TNT title, it's suit Frankie Kazarian.
I like that. I like that. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, the many faces of Frankie Kazarian. Guy used to be bald. I mean, what character development?
Bald now has hair.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way. They cut the hair.
Yeah, no, not this guy.
Oh, but there was one thing in the segment that we did see Scorpio Sky start to turn a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's this real awkward segment because Dan Lambert is being mean to his own hometown. And Ethan Page is screaming at me about his children that I have literally nothing to do with. And then out of nowhere, Frankie Kazarian saves the segment, and Scorpio Sky is the defending champion, wants to fight all the guys, total good guy, told Dan Lambert to put his belt back in the trophy case where it was supposed to be the entire time. Like, hey, eventually we'll get a Scorpio Sky Ethan Page feud, and I guess they'll be done. I don't know. It's really confusing right now with Scorpio being the good guy in a group where there are no good guys.
Are they bringing back SCU with the
dude?
Since technically we talked about that it was just Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels not tagging, not technically SCU.
SCU can still be together. They can still be a group, but Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, that their tag team is the Addiction. Not allowed to wrestle is the Addiction.
Correct.
Anymore.
But they could be this SCU faction again.
They could be the faction. Absolutely.
Jungle Boy meeting Ricky Starks at the booth.
Oh, how could I forget?
It was so disrespectful what Jungle Boy did. It was just, he grabbed the FTW belt, raised it up. Just disgusting act.
The dude knows no boundaries, probably because he spent his life in the jungle, being raised by a dinosaur. Or so I am to believe.
I can't root for him anymore.
I love the FTW title because it's basically a way for Ricky Starks to always rack up wins. And it's just like, well, no one else is going to hold on to the FTW title. Of course he won. And like, still, silently, he's beaten this long list of names in singles and tag team matches. And it's like, good for Ricky Starks. He is
I was going to say the last person that challenged was Jay Lethal.
He does so much stuff that it's almost like how good he is at actually wrestling flies so under the radar sometimes because he's so great. He's good on commentary. He's great at talking, and he's great at just being Ricky Starks.
Well, and I was going to say they give a lot of praise to a belt that is not recognized by AEW.
Hey, I had a shirt made for a belt that isn't recognized by AEW, so I feel where they're coming from.
It's very prestigious.
I mean, and frankly, like, let's just think about this for a second. Right now, you've got a T-shirt, Team Taz with the FTW title belt lineage on the back of the shirt.
I do.
Do you really want the next name on that list to be Jungle Boy?
I don't. No, I don't.
I know.
No, I don't.
Jungle Boy's great and all, but just doesn't fit in with the flow of the shirt, you know?
He doesn't, no. I'm expecting maybe Hook, but not Jungle Boy.
Hook's going to get his own shirt.
Send Hook. After that, we actually threw it down to the main event where you had Jay Lethal. And sorry, I'm probably going to end up butchering his name. I don't even really know who he is. Is Kanosuke? I don't know the last name.
Takeshita,
yeah.
It looks like it should be Takeshita. That's what it looks like. So it's very hard because everyone, if you just read the name, it looks like they're spelling it or they're saying it wrong, but everybody was saying it the same way. So like, of course, obviously not everybody is saying it wrong the entire time. So it's just Takeshita, which if you slow it down, I can see why that pronunciation is formed from that spelling. But yes, Kanosuke Takeshita.
Yeah. And man, did this match kicked ass too.
Yeah, this match was awesome. Really, really, you looked at the card tonight and it was like, this is the Rampage show. And then you tune into the Rampage show and you're like, that's the main event, huh? And it's like everything on the show was awesome, including this match.
They're all bangers.
And Satnam was out there looking all big and whatnot. And that's cool. And Sanjay Dutt freaks out. And at one point, Chris Jericho said something along the lines of, wow, Rick Knox. What's going on there? You just missed the entire pinfall. Maybe he's in this faction as well. You got to be bald to be in the faction, unless you're a giant.
That was so funny. It was just outlandish.
Hey, much like our boy Excalibur, Jericho shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots until he eventually scores.
Nothing still beats the one where it was he was talking about Layla Hirsch's ring gear. And he's like, you know what it says? And Ricky Starks, legit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, wow, great analysis, Jericho. I really needed that.
Jericho earning the big bucks behind commentary.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, this match was awesome. Hit each other hard. Jay Lethal went for that lethal injection. This was right before they came back from commercial, but Jay Lethal went for the lethal injection, and our boy Takeshita ran up with a sliding drop kick to a handspringing Jay Lethal. That was pretty cool. And he actually got a lot of stuff at this match. Like he looked really good. I want to see more of this guy.
Yeah, why is he on Dark?
Well, technically, this is only the third match I think
he's ever wrestled. He was in the DDT promotion.
Yeah, which I think it's funny that they said some kind of open weight championship is the top prize.
Yes,
DDT.
That's what Excalibur said. Yeah,
yeah, and I think it's funny that the open weight title in that promotion is the big title, because it's like, okay, it makes sense. DDT is the type of place that would say, oh, no, if you're going to be our champion, you need to be able to literally beat anybody.
Yeah, true. I mean, that is a valid point.
In any circumstance. Forget a weight class. I once saw clips of, I think it was Angelico and somebody else doing a match for DDT, and they wrestled at a water park.
No way.
and Angelico put the dude in his like twisting leg lock as they were sliding down a slide.
That's hilarious.
Yes, but with all of the randomness, that's where Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega wrestled blow-up dolls and almost killed themselves in matches against an inflatable man. But yes, that is where Takeshita comes from, and he gave Jay Lethal everything he had here.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he pulled out all the stops.
And except for that running knee. I don't know what... Dude, that running knee, fucking brutal.
That would hurt.
I look at... it probably really hurt. And also, it doesn't look nearly as cool as, like my standard for running knees is Kenny's V-trigger.
Yeah.
Like even Bryan Danielson's, he does that running knee, the running jumping knee, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this move? Like, so my standard for running knees is very high. I don't think you're beating Jay Lethal with that kind of running knee.
There was one thing where, if we're going to talk about hurting, the first chop, Jay Lethal is like, what did I just sign up for?
Oh God, yeah, it was pretty bad. There were a couple shots. The clothesline off the top rope, I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either.
Something so simple.
It should have been easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I saw it, I was like, and the crowd popped so big for it. I was like, I don't know that I've ever seen a reversal, the lariat off of the top rope, inside out the man. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
and the visual pinfall.
Yeah, and the visual pinfall.
Yeah, he had him pinned for like 10 seconds. That was what prompted Jericho to question whether Knox was in the bald man faction.
Yeah, very true. And then, of course, we got the lethal injection.
Yeah,
which was a great way to put
awesome.
It. Yeah, I was gonna say the finish was sweet.
Yes, yeah, that was really awesome. I don't know. Jay Lethal impresses every time he wrestles. I don't know why he needed a 7'2" bodyguard that can barely move. I don't know, but
he took your advice. It just went in a totally different direction, but took your advice.
Listen, the one thing that I'll say about Jay Lethal, as far as taking my advice goes, is there was a piece of advice that I left out, and that's my mistake. And it's something that he's capitalized on, and that is this. He's put himself in a faction where he is far and away the best wrestler and the biggest star. So as far as positioning goes, that's on me. I failed to even consider that. But here he is thinking a step ahead of the game. He maybe could have picked guys that were like a little of higher note, so that it's like, being the best in that group is like the one-eyed man being king in a blind world. So it's like, you could have skilled up your boys a little bit. But still, I see where he's coming from with the group that he's formed. So I'm not all the way back, I've got to see the Satnam
He's moved
guy.
the meter at least.
But he started to move the meter on me a little bit as far as his current plan is going. This Jay Lethal.
Yeah, and it's definitely getting to a point where we might see him and Samoa Joe. But we actually had the best friends facing off.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what to call them, but it was Jay. I call him Jay Lethal and Crew. But
Jay Lethal and Crew, the Bollywood Boys. Actually, they can't. There's already a team named the Bollywood Boys, so they can't do that.
So they need a name of the faction. So to me, it's Jay Lethal and Crew.
Yeah, that's a good name.
So, but yeah, they best friends decided to run in. We got to see Chucky T just get demolished.
Yeah, what idiots. I mean, I was happy with it. Chucky T getting bounced like a basketball. It was pretty cool. Listen, Satnam, he must be a listener of the show because he knew how to gain points with me right away. And that was to dribble Chuck Taylor like a basketball.
Destroy Chucky T and you're out of the doghouse at least. And then after best friends came in, Samoa Joe had something to say as well and had to get all the security and refs to stop him.
I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe put it in his contract that he's only going to have to do segments that involves him getting held back by security.
That's all he's been.
Well, dude, and like he always did segments in W. And granted, this is a lot of segments, so I'm not really going out on that much of a limb here. But I feel like the best Joe segments were where he was getting held back by security in WWE for saying something to somebody that he shouldn't have. And so he's been held back by security so many times in AEW. I just think that's his niche right there. He's the guy that you go to when you need a strong segment where someone gets held back by security.
Yeah, that's very true. And I guess probably the one segment I did see him on NXT was him getting held back against Karrion Kross. So
see, I'm telling you. And also Samoa Joe, he's a real pros pro. He's been watching the security guards take a beating from Wardlow for the past couple weeks. Yes. Got to build the security guards' credibility back up a little bit. So this week they were successfully able to stop Samoa
and
Joe.
Jericho and Samoa Joe had build credibility.
So Wardlow decimates them, and then Jericho and Joe, they get held back to boost up the security guys' rep a little bit back again.
Yeah, the morale,
Yeah. Since oftentimes they do a poor job when it comes. So, got to boost them a little. Joe's a pro. He knows. Okay, I see.
He's sensitive to the
I can't wait until he gets hit by a lead pipe and loses the first round of the tournament.
Jay Lethal interferes and hits him with the lead pipe.
It's coming. I'm telling you.
We've already booked it.
Yep. Cash it.
Yeah, and that concluded Rampage.
Great show.
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the better Rampage shows.
And we'll go to Dynamite, which it was good. It was not the strongest Dynamites, but very good. First match, Adam Cole joins commentary so that he can watch his undisputed elite teammate, Bobby Fish, lose to Jeff Hardy in a Owen Hart Cup qualifying tournament. And I did not think this was very good at all, in particular.
It was a little weird, I guess, to describe it. Like it was, I don't, like you said, there's something that was missing, I felt like.
It was two dudes whose style of wrestling did not go together at all. And the old saying of styles make fights is true, but the style did not make the fight here. What it made the fight was kind of boring, to be honest, because everyone always talks about, and I thought I got a kick out of this. During this match, Jim Ross says, when most of your offense is primarily coming off the top rope, and I'm just like, dude, this Jeff Hardy looks like he's 7'3" compared to most of these guys. Like he's like 6'1", 6'2", and he hardly ever goes to the top rope. He goes up there like a couple times, but to say that most of his offense in 2022 comes from the top rope would not be further from the truth.
There's only been one move that I've seen him go to the top rope for, and it's been the Swanton Bomb.
Well, he did the Whisper in the Wind, the rotating, spinning leg kick thing that he did too. That was off the top. But all the other times, he's seemingly going for the Swanton, and he gets thwarted, and that's it.
But hey, I always give credit to where credit is due. He's going right to the finisher. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's smart.
If you know he's going to put him away, you know he's going to the finisher. Like I give him credit.
Yeah, you know he doesn't get paid by the hour.
right.
As JR would also usually say. But that's exactly the way that he went. He went the way of the Swanton Bomb, Bobby Fish. And the two men who...
He got crushed with it, too.
As does everybody in 2022. Combined age, just because I know there are a lot of people who will cherry pick all of the old heads in WWE that continually get pushed to the top. I'll throw this little stat in there just to appease those idiots. Combined age of the two competitors in this match, 88 years old.
Yeah,
they're both 44.
Or I didn't know that they were both 44, but they were older guys. I know that for sure.
Yeah, they're in their early 40s. Not worth looking up. Maybe it was 86 years old. Maybe they're both 43 because I know Jeff's a couple of years younger than that. But still, yeah, they moved like they were in their 40s. It's almost like you need Bobby Fish in there with a bunch of young guys so that he can wrestle that style.
It really showed that he's a tag guy for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly helps. It certainly helps when he's in the tags, but it was just okay. Hardy wins, and then after the match, this was probably more entertaining than a lot of the match. The Young Bucks came out and they exchanged glances with the Hardys. Gave him a little before checking on Bobby Fish, who frankly they didn't really seem to care all that much about. But
no, they just asked if he's okay, and all right.
The coolest William Regal video promo played. This was awesome with the training of Wheeler Yuta. And he talked about the Combat Club's unique brand of violence. Where they're going to leave scars on you that you can't possibly forget. And that's why you'll remember them. Great.
Very strong promo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, video packages, AEW, they nail it.
William Regal's voice is just like smooth. I can't believe it's not butter. It's just tremendous.
Absolutely.
I could listen to it all day long. But that led to the Blackpool Combat Club match against the Andrade Family Office, the Butcher, the Blade, and your boy, and Helico.
Nice to see him back.
Yes, where William Regal couldn't figure out what his name was. He called him Angelico. And then they corrected him, and like 60 seconds later, he goes, all right, well, he's going to be Angelico to me. But it was relatively one-sided in the favor of the Blackpool Combat Club. I mean, the other team got a little, but ultimately it was another. Well, they actually, it wasn't all one-sided.
The Butcher got a fair amount.
The Butcher did take over Wheeler Yuta for quite a while, and I think he did so in the break. I skipped the break, so.
See, the only thing I wish, obviously I'm a little biased here, but I think Angelico and Danielson would have been a great little. Just going for submission to submission to submission, I think that would have been a cool little transition wrestling.
Yeah, we didn't get enough Angelico, Bryan Danielson, and I don't know the next time we'll get an opportunity to see that. So it would have been nice because this was like the only scenario in which you can give the two some time, and that's just not what they did.
Yeah, and I also missed Excalibur saying was it Yaveo Mexican wrestling style?
Yeah. But Angelico got his head kicked in and was put in a triangle and was tapped out.
Demolished.
Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Backstage, they were asked about their tag team title challenge, which I thought the Jungle Boy had already accepted. Like, am I wrong? Didn't he not already accept that match?
They did it. I thought they did accept it.
Okay, pretty sure they accepted it anytime, anywhere. And then this week, the Jungle Boy, the good guy, backtracks on his good word and says, oh, no, well, if you give me a shot at the FTW title, we can do our tag team match. What a bastard. The guy, sneaky Jungle Boy.
The worst.
Yeah, trying to take away this title before defending his own, leveraging on a deal that's negotiating in bad faith. They don't. That is
absolutely. I absolutely agree.
They must not teach that in the Jungle Book.
No, I mean, what is Christian teaching them?
I don't know, man. But Christian's about to turn on him, and Jungle Boy's going to be at a loss, and I'm going to root for Christian.
Same.
Jungle Boy keeps pulling these underhanded negotiating tactics.
So yeah, who's the real bad guy?
So we will get Ricky Starks versus Jungle Boy, which I'm sure will be a great match, and I'll be amazed at how good Ricky Starks is again, because I usually am. Not amazed, but like always pleasantly surprised. Because he never...
A good surprise, yes.
He should wrestle all the time. He doesn't. We go from that to Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland backstage. These two have such good chemistry together. It was a nice little basic back and forth that they did there, but like just they play off each other so well, and they are obviously not going to let this whole Team Taz thing just go away. So
Swerve in our glory. That was a great one.
Swerve in their glory. Wardlow came out handcuffed by the security. The usual no music entrance, as everybody said. Wardlow. This time, MJF and Shawn Spears, they were not in the arena, or I mean, they were, but they were not in the rafters. They had nothing to say because they didn't want to be there for this, which it's obviously because at this point they know it's going to be terrible and their plan is not going to work. So they just decided not to stick around for it at all. But he introduces the former Big Cass, who is announced as William Morrissey. So
we were saying W. Morrissey. Yeah.
Well, he's still listed on this report that I'm reading as W. Morrissey. And on Impact, he's W. Morrissey. So I don't know. But they gave him a first name. Thank you. Shout out for that. And he looked good. The two dudes had a pretty solid match. Like the one thing that I just wanted to point out here about William Morrissey, this is probably the best that he's looked, both physically and as a wrestler, in the entire time that I've known him as a wrestler. And I really, really enjoyed the match. It was impressive what those two guys did. But I'll make this note here. William Morrissey is a big fucking guy.
That he is.
Probably, I don't know if he's actually 7 feet tall, but he is damn close, if not.
I did look it up and it said 6'10".
Okay, so he's a
basically
tall
7
dude.
foot. Yeah.
And my reason for stopping here is to point out that that's about as good as it gets for a guy who's almost 7 feet tall. Like, what else? What more can he do other than all of the stuff that he did? Maybe like smoother, I guess. I don't know.
He still looked very athletic.
Yeah. So like, there's nothing you can add to that repertoire. He is what he is, an impressive big man. That's the ceiling for a big guy. The rest is all about how he's booked, the way that he's presented.
The rest is gravy.
And how well he can move. So like, I only bring this up because God bless Satnam Singh, and you know that it is what it is. But like, William Morrissey moves as good as any 7-footer is going to move, and that's like the most you could hope for. And he's good, but don't get me wrong, it's not like earth-shatteringly great. Or
no, but like it's definitely, like you said, it's good.
Yeah. So you know, if there's already a guy who's that good, maybe just bring in that guy, rather than teaching somebody who's working at like a distinct disadvantage.
But yeah, keep him on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but this Satnam guy, I can't imagine
give
a
him
match where he looks as good as William Morrissey looked in this one.
All right, we definitely got to give him a chance, but and be open-minded about it. But yeah, it's so far hasn't progressed to where we're impressed either.
I'm always open to being wrong.
Yep.
If he gets in the ring and puts on a 4.25-star classic against Samoa Joe in his first match, I'll be the first one to eat my words. But in the limited movement that I've seen him make, and now watching somebody who, granted, is not as tall but is up there.
Yes, I mean, just a few inches shy.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm less sold on that working. Although, if his only role within AEW is to constantly beat up the best friends, I'm going to need a Satnam Singh t-shirt.
True.
With Chuck Taylor's head embroidered
as a basketball.
Like a basketball, yeah. But Wardlow did beat William Morrissey with one powerbomb, which they got it good, but I was really worried to see it go 3 more times after that. So I'm glad that they just stuck.
Getting him up was a struggle.
Yeah, that was all you needed. So he pins William Morrissey and gets on the mic and said that he's not going to stop until MJF both gives him his match and lets him out of his contract. MJF said that he would do that, but that the contract signing was going to be in his hometown, Long Island, which, by the way, how many goddamn people on AEW's roster are from Long Island?
Taz is.
Half of the roster is from frickin' Long Island, and they're all
feels like it.
John Silver, MJF, Taz, Tony Nese, apparently. All of these people, they're all from Long Island. I don't understand, but guess it doesn't matter. I just thought it was wild. Hangman Page is up next, and Hangman Page comes out he is going to talk about CM Punk, and he goes in a direction that I didn't expect him to go. I thought we were going to get happy-go-lucky Hangman, happy-go-lucky cowboy, doing cowboy shit, never getting beat, no matter what the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all for it. He comes out here and starts running down CM Punk, man.
He did give him the rundown.
So there was all these nice things that he could say about CM Punk, but he isn't going to.
He wasn't going to.
There will be no Bret Hart tributes. There will be none of that. He is going to embarrass and destroy CM Punk. Which, destroy him and embarrass him.
Do it.
Hangman. I mean, Jesus.
So one part of this that's been so funny is the fact that on Twitter, there's a bunch of memes about Dax Harwood like coming after Hangman for talking about Bret Hart.
And Paige also noticed a fan in the crowd wearing a CM Punk t-shirt, and I thought the good line was, by the time he's done with him, he's going to be running to the merch stand for a refund if he hadn't already burned it, which was good.
Yeah, gave him the rundown for sure.
Jay Lethal and the boys did some kind of promo here about the match that we already talked about. Chris Jericho defeated Santana in another match that, can you guess, ended with distracted ref, low blow, some kind of bullshit finish. And at this point, I think Jericho has wrestled every member of the Inner Circle like far too many times, like a former member of the Inner Circle. I mean, Jesus Christ. I get it. We're going to do Jericho and Kingston at another pay-per-view, but all of this has felt like the same thing every other week. So 1 week they brawl, or 2 weeks in a row, they'll do some kind of brawl. And then there will be either a singles match or some variation of a tag match. Then they'll do 2 weeks of brawling. And then they'll do another variation of a tag match where someone gets screwed and loses. And then they'll throw a fireball on Eddie's face. And they'll pick things back up a little bit by having Eddie call in to the announce desk. That was great. And then go right back to, okay, let's just have a match with a screwed finish. The match itself was fine, but, as I said, it ended with Jericho low-blowing Santana behind the ref's back, hitting him with the Judas effect, knocking him cold. And Santana and Ortiz have been so giving over the time that they've spent with AEW, and they should have already been tag team champions. I know you got to keep Jericho strong for the pay-per-view, but, I don't care that it was a BS finish. It's Santana and Ortiz and another group doing nothing. Can we not do something with the Santana and Ortiz? Could they not have wrestled 2.0 and picked up a win and then done a brawl after? Like, I don't know. Jericho said he was going to put a hit on a guy and then punched him in the balls. What a bitch.
Well, the only thing is, is Jericho wrong? I mean, Santana and Ortiz maybe just, aren't good enough.
I mean, maybe, but that's not the kind of story you should be telling about your
No. But I'm just saying that it's, they're like, oh, we're held back by Jericho. Well, you got to beat him first. So,
yeah. And then they kicked the shit out of Santana after the match. And the announcers pointed out that Eddie can't help because he's at home, which.
Yeah, Santana and Ortiz were just getting their teeth kicked in.
Samoa Joe addresses Jay Lethal, said he was coming for him on Rampage, which he did, but security, was effective this time. And so he didn't get very far. Nice try, Joe. And now if this next segment were somehow transformed into the same rating scale that a regular match was on, this would be a 5-star segment and it would be my match of the week. The Gun Club approaches the Acclaimed backstage.
This was so funny.
It's so juvenile and it's ordinarily something that I would just hate. Why would they put this on the show? Can't they just agree to be partners? They have to be all weird about it. But there's some kind of specialness about Colton and Austin Gunn's weirdness and how Billy just completely leans in to how fucking weird his sons are. And the Acclaimed know that they're all the same kind of weird and they can just be together and be this great faction. So now we've got a faction that is presumably led by Billy Gunn.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah, he's the most experienced. He should be running that crew. But they all came back and said, we talked to our papa.
And last week they called him daddy.
And they only had one thing to say. And then they voluntarily scissored them.
He gave him gifts too.
And gave him gifts, yes. They gave him
Of scissors.
Yes, that was how they accepted the Acclaim's offer, by gifting them scissors back, like actual physical scissors. So good.
It's perfect. It was literally perfect.
All right, and now for the second funniest segment over the second funniest and easily the creepiest segment across both shows. The Varsity Blondes call out the House of Black. This was so bad. I'm sorry. Brian Pillman, man. I think you're the nicest guy in the world. We've met a handful of times, and he's so nice. But they are constantly miscasting him. Does he have to be? Does he have to be the Brian Pillman that he is? Do they have to be high school Letterman? Like, what kind of character is that? Like, you've got an actual high schooler, Nick Wayne, who signed a contract.
Yeah, make him part of the varsity.
Who is 10,000 times the wrestler of any of the people in that varsity group. And you've got a girl who's literally 19 years old out there dressed like a fucking high school cheerleader. It's so weird, so creepy. And the fact that she's about to become the queen of the Dark Throne or whatever with all these other gigantic tatted men as she's dressed like a goddamn high school cheerleader is just the most bizarre thing to me. So the segment was this. Brian Pillman came out way too overly enthusiastic.
That was the segment. That was the promo. Enthusiasm.
That was the segment. And if you thought Ethan Page could yell into a microphone, well, fuck. You must not have watched Dynamite, because this Brian Pillman, man, he starts talking slow. And then by the end, he's just screaming into the microphone.
Blew out the microphone.
How goddamn enthusiastic he is. And then the House of Black come down and beat the shit out of him. And then they try and get Julia Hart to hit Griff Garrison with a chair or something.
Yep.
And like you can see she's got the eye paint on. The official ruling on the field, by the way, Julia Hart, brain has been poisoned. That was what they said on commentary. Yeah. The Black Mist poisoned her brain, but everybody else that's had it happen to him is fucking fine. Like, Jesus. And it's even weirder that we've got two varsity athletes calling out a group that worships Satan. I don't know, man. This is all over the board. Can we just get the house?
This is the confusion part of AEW that we have reached.
I'm not confused. Somebody backstage thinks they're right in the next Tarantino film or something, or something produced by somebody fancy. They think they're right. They think they're back there right in the Scarface 2 with this shit, and really, it's just convoluted and weird. That part. The actual story they're telling, I don't understand, but I understand how it's ending up on TV.
Yeah, true.
What? Any thoughts on this? I just went on a mini tirade there, but I couldn't stop myself. I laughed from the beginning to the end of this.
I started dying laughing when he said, "I'm so goddamn enthusiastic." I absolutely just lost it at that point.
Dude, God bless this guy. I feel so bad laughing like this.
Dude, I give him credit. Like, he's trying. Like,
that will never be his fault. Like, I'm the asshole who's sitting here talking on a show, but like, he really is going for it. I totally can appreciate where he's coming from.
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
He's committed to it. It's just, they need to make him commit to something entirely different from what he's currently doing. He could have benefited from maybe being trained by William Regal, perhaps.
Yeah, I can see why the Blackpool Combat Club didn't recruit him.
And it was so preposterous. This whole segment was so ridiculous that we skipped over probably the craziest part of the whole thing. The fact that John Harbaugh was sitting in the front row.
He was
actively referenced multiple times in Brian Pillman's promo. Oh, apparently best friends with his father in college.
They're roommates in college.
Yeah, what a segment.
That was all over the board.
We've got to have some kind of weekly award. We're going to get back to all the people on this. We're going to have some kind of weekly award I don't know what it'll be called, but it will be in honor of whatever you would consider this type of segment. Whichever segment of the week is the best of that kind of segment. We're going to have to come up with a reward.
We will have to, yes.
Something about something being preposterous. That'll be the theme of the award. Preemptive number one winner. Death Triangle ran down and the House of Black retreated. That was the end. Boom.
Yep.
Okay. Jade Cargill, Mark Sterling, and the Baddies were backstage.
Sterling we had the Ray Phoenix and Dante Martin, didn't we?
I thought this came before the match. Either way,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Jade said that Red Velvet is going to win the Owen Hart tournament, and that's it. That
I don't believe her.
Listen, she's been right about a lot of things. If she wanted to remain undefeated and the whole being right thing, then she wouldn't have made that prediction. So
true.
Ray Phoenix versus Dante Martin. It is awesome to have Ray Phoenix back. These guys did all sorts of crazy stuff, and God damn it, they need to stop doing stuff during the picture-in-picture because I know they did crazy stuff, but I'm not watching it, dude. I have only so much time in the week. I'm not squinting at that little box to watch the shit.
If I'm not watching live, I'm skipping through it.
Yeah. If I'm watching live, I'll keep an eye on it in the corner. But they did all sorts of stuff off the top, back and forth on the apron, crazy cutters,
crazy jumps.
These two dudes did a backflip, holding on to each other off the top. I don't know if it was supposed to be a Russian leg sweep or a reverse Spanish fly, but they both reversed and landed on their feet. I mean, athletically, they did all kinds of stuff, and it was super impressive. As a match, I had no idea what the fuck I was watching.
It was move.
I feel like they have been trying to recapture the Dante Martin magic from the first time that his brother got hurt. He went on this little run where he was so over and having these killer matches. And he's not like he's never been bad. It's just for whatever reason that same fire from the crowd is just not there. And maybe he's overexposed a little bit because it does feel just like move. And I'm going to probably, if anybody hears this, is probably going to think like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? That match was awesome. And I'm not saying it wasn't. Like,
right. No, yeah.
They both did awesome things, but I don't know. It seemed a little overindulgent to me. And being overindulgent is how guys like Ray Phoenix break their arms in the first place. So
the only thing I'm going to say about Dante Martin is that he kept wrestling Powerhouse Hobbs in that little stretch, and I think that lost a lot of the magic.
He was wrestling a lot of really experienced guys who knew where to put his shit, and the Powerhouse Hobbs series, like I couldn't even remember who won what in what order. It was so bland. But yeah, I mean, he and Ray Phoenix meshed well together as far as the pulling off of spectacular maneuvers. But other than that, it was just like as many moves as we can fit into the time that we've been given here. And we're going to just try and amaze you, which they certainly did. But it's just not the Dante Martin run of 2020, late 2020, early 2021, whenever that was. I am time dimensionally challenged, The next segment of the show was Darby Allin addressing Jeff Hardy, and both Darby and Sting both agreed that what more needed to be said. It's Darby Allin wrestling against the guy who inspired Darby Allin to be Darby Allin. So there it is.
Yeah, should be a good match.
I can't see a way, even with Jeff Hardy, sometimes, he's older, banged up. I can't see them not pulling out all the stops to make that a great match.
Very true.
Thunder Rosa came out next, and she said that everyone has a story. I don't know. Some of these Thunder Rosa promos are a little too introspective for me. But she said that everybody has a story, and her story is about how she became the number one woman in the women's division. And I don't know. We kind of went all over the place there. But Serena Deeb eventually came out when Thunder Rosa invited the number one contender out there. And apparently Thunder Rosa used to be a big Serena Deeb fan. Drove 8 hours just to watch Serena Deeb wrestle. And Serena Deeb thinks that those two could be the people who bring AEW. Her and Thunder Rosa could bring AEW's women's division into the worldwide spotlight as being one of the best women's division. But she said that it only makes sense that the best women's wrestler has the world's women's championship, which Thunder Rosa said, I don't think you understand how this works. I have the title, which symbolizes that I am the champion. And Deep said that the thing that they all say about her, everybody in the back and all the wrestlers, is that Deeb herself is just on a different level, and a double or nothing, she's going to take that title. So that was the gist of it. It was fine. What did you think?
Yeah, I think we definitely beat around the bush till we got to the Serena Deeb part. It was, like I said, it was all over the place until Serena Deeb got out there. It was dragging to me.
Oh yeah, it felt like it went on so long, and yet there are other segments on here where we learned a lot more or got a lot more substance in a lot less time. But Serena Deeb did save it. I thought her part was pretty great.
Yeah.
I wish there was actually a chance that she was going to win this title now, because I would love to see Serena Deeb be the champion eventually.
I mean, she's the professor of professional wrestling.
Yeah, she deserves a title at some point. I would love that, especially since they just did away with the Professor 5-minute challenge. That
the 5 minute, yeah, right,
just disappeared. John Silver addresses CM Punk,
the meat man.
Yes, another man from Long Island. Said CM Punk would be wrestling him in the hometown, and that they are going to see. He's going to see why he's the meat man. And I never asked for John Silver versus CM Punk, but I'm okay with it.
Now I do.
We had the undisputed Ring of Honor Women's World Championship match. Interim champion Mercedes Martinez defeated Deonna Purrazzo. I thought Deonna Purrazzo looked pretty good. The match, just okay. I think it would have been viewed as a lot better if there weren't so many other great women's matches that took place this week. It was certainly in the middle for me as far as women's matches. Maybe even the end. What was there another women's match on the show that I'm missing, or was it just the two on Rampage? I think it was just the two on Rampage.
Yeah, so it would be, in third place.
Definitely in third place for me. But I will say I think that Deonna Purrazzo is somebody who could benefit by being in AEW or staying on with Ring of Honor. She was pretty good. Yeah, no,
I thought it was, like you said, I thought it was an all right match. Like, definitely nothing to write home about, but definitely worth watching. So
a lot better than some of the random pairings that they throw on and random obscure spots of the show that just don't get any crowd reaction at all. I mean, if Mercedes Martinez and Deonna Purrazzo is the third ranked match out of 3, then you had a pretty good week of women's matches, I would say.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it can be done, Tony. Just do it more often.
Yeah, consistently, buddy.
Yeah, and then no one will have any issues. The people who must see a certain amount of women's wrestling will be satisfied, and the people who don't want to watch clunky wrestling will also be satisfied. So it's just overall 2 really good wrestlers, put on a good match. And Mercedes Martinez, it was helped by the fact that I didn't know who was going to win, because who knows? Deonna Purrazzo could have ended up holding on to the title.
I thought she was going to. So.
Yeah, I had no idea. So that certainly helped with the match, especially as it got to the end. But in the end, Martinez hit the Samoan driver and that curb stomp that she does before doing the dragon sleeper for the finish. So picked up the win, retains the title, capped off what was a pretty good Dynamite. Although I will say, if I had to pick this week, Rampage was my show.
Rampage. There you go.
It was. Now, before we move on to some of our end of the show segments, which we've swapped the order of a little bit here, there are 2 tournaments starting next week. I want you to predict the finals. Well, we're both going to predict, but, let's predict what the finals will be and who's going to win first.
Okay.
My prediction is that it is going to be Adam Cole in the finals against the Joker, who's going to end up being Johnny Gargano.
Really?
Yes.
You've predicted Johnny Gargano as the Joker.
I don't know if it's going to be somebody returning. It could be Miro. I think Samoa Joe is getting hit with a lead pipe behind the referee's back and losing that match. So,
yeah. Well, so my thought process is we are going to get Adam Cole in the finals versus Jay White as the Joker.
Okay. All right. That would be kind of cool if Jay White came in and snaked the Owen Hart Cup right out from everybody who's in AEW's hands.
I think that would be the one time where, New Japan kind of gets the big win over AEW right before the Forbidden Door.
Hey, you could do that. Certainly. That would be pretty good. I actually think that I would like that. Your idea is better. So who's going to win, Adam Cole or Jay White?
Jay White.
Oh, okay. So you're predicting a Jay White championship.
I am.
All right, I'm predicting an Adam Cole championship. The dude has lost too much recently. I feel like they're going to have him win the tournament, and I don't know. Maybe they won't. Maybe whoever the Joker is going to win the tournament. Fuck, I got to sit on a prediction right here. I got to make. All right, I'm going to cheat here. I am going to pick. My prediction is that it'll be Johnny Gargano. Now, I don't know. I'm going a little bit out on a limb here because if I'm right, it'll be really cool.
It would be really cool.
There's probably some more likely people, but I'm picking Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole.
I like it.
Because you put those two guys on a pay-per-view, you know what
you're those getting, are banger matches.
So it could happen. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm picking the Joker as my Owen Hart Cup champion.
Same here then, because I'd say Jay White. So
I'm going Joker versus Adam Cole. But if neither Jay White nor Johnny Gargano are the person, we still get whoever the Joker is.
We get the Joker slot.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about the women's side? What do you think is going to happen there? I have no idea who the Joker is going to be for that one.
Yeah, no clue. This one's a tough one, but I am actually going to go finals. Britt Baker, Toni Storm. Toni Storm winning.
Oh, are they not on the same side of the bracket?
Are they not? I gotta have to look at the bracket then again.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they're on the same side of the bracket. Okay. So they would meet in the semifinals. So the left side of the bracket is Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker versus the Joker. The right side is Riho versus Ruby Soho, and Red Velvet versus Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, I am gonna go with Toni Storm and Riho.
Okay,
Toni Storm winning.
I'm going Toni Storm and Shida with Toni Storm winning. So we got the same winner, but we got a different loser.
Different outcome.
Yeah.
Or not different outcome, but yeah, different finals matchup.
All right. So while we're looking at it, and I'll go ahead and make this up into an official bracket when we're done. Let's go rapid fire. Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm. Obviously, we both have Toni Storm. Britt Baker versus whoever the Joker is going to be. Who do you got?
I got Britt Baker.
I also have Britt Baker. And then obviously we both have Toni Storm beating Britt Baker to advance to the finals there.
Correct.
Which would be wild, seeing as how she just scored the pinfall.
That is very true.
Right side of the bracket, Riho versus Ruby Soho. Obviously, you've got Riho. Wow. I'm going to also go Riho.
It's a tough one. It is a tough one.
It is a tough one. It can go either way because Ruby Soho I think she should be fired up and get some wins here soon. But then Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida.
I got Shida. There's no way that
you don't believe Jade? You don't think?
I don't believe her. I am a non-believer.
Fair enough. Neither am I. I got Shida as well. So then obviously in the semis, you've got Riho, I've got Shida. So that's what it'll come down to, it looks like.
Yeah. And then we're going to do the men's real quick then?
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's see. Let me get the men's pulled up. I got it.
Okay, cool.
So for me, the first match, I will have Jeff Hardy over Darby Allin.
Oh, you're going Jeff Hardy over Darby Allin. Okay. I am going with Darby Allin.
Okay, this is a toss-up.
I'm going with Darby Allin. Yeah, I think he has drifted away. They're going to give him a gigantic win over his childhood hero.
There you go. I mean, that is a good one. I'm definitely going with still the fan reaction, the crowd reaction of the new guy.
The Bucks are totally going to screw the Hardys.
Yeah, but I think that's going to happen because I have Adam Cole beating Dax Harwood, and I think the Bucks are going to screw Jeff Hardy when he faces Adam Cole.
Selfishly, I just really want to see an Adam Cole versus Darby Allin match. So
really
I've also got Adam Cole in the Dax Harwood match.
Third match, I have Rey Fenix over. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go Rey Fenix over Kyle O'Reilly. I'll say
okay. All right. I also have Rey Fenix over Kyle O'Reilly.
See, the thing is,
he's not going to come back and not advance to the semifinals.
That's what I'm thinking. But Adam Cole did promise us, all the guys are going to make it.
Adam Cole's not a man of his word.
Yeah,
Bobby Fish is already eliminated in the tournament. Hasn't even
didn't
started.
Even qualify.
Yeah.
And then we have obviously the Joker over Samoa Joe.
Which we've got different Jokers, but we are both going to be awarded the Joker selection.
Yes. Obviously Joker over Rey Fenix.
I got Joker over Rey Fenix. So we both got Joker Adam Cole in the finals. It's just going to be a matter of who that Joker is. And
I have Jeff Hardy. So the first match, Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin is going to be also a deciding factor.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So basically, if whoever picks up that win, they're in the pole position.
Yes.
The only way they could lose is if the other person accurately predicts the Joker correctly.
That'd be the criteria.
Well, our loose rules for this bracket challenge. Join us. Submit your bracket at Gould-Fish Pod on Twitter. Send us an email, gouldfishpod@gmail.com. We'll read them on the air.
Yeah, we'll give the live the live predictions as well of the fans.
But that's all we got AEW wise today. I mean, I guess there's one more piece of AEW news, not as fun, but Stu Grayson is not re-signing his contract. So we have lost Stu Grayson from the Dark Order, which is a shame because I know he probably wanted to do more. If you watch Being the Elite, even though it was all fun and laughs, you could tell he was a pretty frustrated character as far as not getting opportunities goes. And they did not reach a dollar figure to agree upon. And it sucks. I mean, I don't know that the show is any better or worse off because Stu Grayson isn't on there, but I never watched a Stu Grayson match where I didn't
enjoy it. Right.
Yeah, every time he wrestled, it was really awesome. He and Evil Uno were a great team. So hopefully Evil Uno stays in the spotlight, though, for whatever spotlight he has.
Well, I was just going to say, just because they didn't come to agreements doesn't mean they won't come to agreement,
True.
In a little bit too. So
yeah.
I'm optimistic, and I think you are too. So
yeah, I'm hoping that he eventually comes back. He's a good guy to have in the Dark Order.
Absolutely.
Other piece of news here. We know that the New Japan and AEW show has officially sold out the Forbidden Door event at the United Center in Chicago. I don't know how many tickets total, but they put out a majority of the tickets available on a pre-sale yesterday. And they went immediately, and then they released 3,000 more tickets today, and they went immediately again. So that'll be one hell of a show.
It would be one hell of a show.
There will be a hot crowd there, I'm guessing.
I suspect nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing else. So
yeah.
If they're not all screaming and hollering, they don't deserve to be there.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we got two more things to talk about here before we wrap up, and I'm going to delegate the order to Fish. Fish, should we start with our disc golf performance, or should we start with match of the week and then go to disc golf? Your call.
I'm going to say disc golf and end on match of the week.
All right. Away from the world of wrestling just for a moment, how did you play this week?
I played all right. Not too bad. Left a little left on the table with some birdies, but no ace.
No ace. Still on the quest for an ace. Still haven't gotten it. I actually haven't had a chance to get out this week, which is absolutely killing me. The range is so horrible. And, I'm not going to lie, having knock knolls in my backyard just to practice. Oh.
I will make a shout out here to Kal Youngquist.
Uh-oh. Cal getting his first shout out on the pod.
Getting a first shout out. Almost aced hole 2 at UIS. Hit the top of the basket.
Hey, he's got the legs, but piss poor aim on Cal's part. It goes in the basket, Cal, not on top of the basket.
I told him that's, the objective of disc golf is put it in the basket, not on top of the basket.
And by rule, just in case this ever comes up, you better shut it down immediately. If your boy Cal ever throws a putt from long range and it lands on top, you do not give him that credit.
No.
That is not the rule. Not how it works.
Yep. We respect the sticks.
You respect the sticks, you respect the rules, and you play the game. That's what it is.
There we go.
And eventually, if you follow those simple steps, you'll eventually get an ace and be allowed to talk about it on the Gould-Fish Pod.
Yep. Let us know. Send us an email.
Yeah, you can talk about it on the air. How about that? Official promise.
We'll call it the Eddie Kingston segment where you call into the podcast.
Yeah, the Mad King Ace of the Week. we can get our own disc made up with it. Oh, man, the ideas are flowing. Now all we need is an audience.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
All right. Well, that brings us to match of the week, which there's a lot of contenders here. There wasn't the ceiling wasn't as high, but goddamn, was there a hell of a lot of things to pick from as far as the match of the week goes here. So, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I will start, and
Okay.
I've decided I'm going to go this one, even though there's two for contention and kind of recency bias since it's on Rampage. I am actually going to go with Yuka Sakazaki and Riho
Wow.
as match of the week.
Wow.
Just because I haven't seen them in a while, and man, they just lit it up.
They did light it up. That was a great match. And you know what? Maybe I'm also displaying a little bit of recency bias because that was one of my two matches in contention for match of the week. But you know what? I'm going Jay Lethal versus
That was my second one. Yes.
Yeah, that's my match of the week. So we properly picked 1A and 1B. We were on the same page there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could have been a little recency bias, but man, Rampage kicked ass.
Rampage did kick ass. That was top to bottom some of the best wrestling on a Rampage. It was awesome.
It was incredible, and I can proudly say Rampage is my favorite AEW show.
Well, hey, there's going to be a reality show later on that we're going
to. I don't want that.
You don't want the sweet life of Sammy and Ty?
I don't.
It's just them going around with their own doorman who plays the part of Julio Ricardo Esteban Montoya Ramirez, whatever, from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. He's
and then they're going to talk.
role.
Are they going to spend half the time on Twitter talking about their trolls?
Actually, the whole show is just 30 minutes of them thinking of tweets. That's the show.
And Sammy wearing two belts.
Well, at least for the first half of the season.
Very true.
Well, I got no more thoughts on the week. Fish, you got anything as we send off the loyal listeners?
I'm very happy with the week, and Rampage definitely for a different time slot, worth the watch. That's all I got to say.
I was so
the watch.
happy that it was on early. So much happier that it was on there so early. I'm sure they don't like it for their ratings, but I enjoyed it. Getting
off work at 4:30 and turning on Rampage, best part of my day.
I mean, that's a killer start to the weekend. It's all downhill from there. All righty, tell us who you are.
I'm Ryan Fish.
And I'm Matt Gould. Thanks for listening to the Gould-Fish Pod.